Okay, class, this is like my third attempt to try to make this video because the phone rings and all this other good stuff, and now my son is about to come in the door, so you're going to hear a lot of noise, so just bear with it. This is problem number 2 from your study guide packet. We did not do this one in class. It says you start out with 20 grams of sodium hydroxide, which I have here, which is my A, and I need to know how many grams of sodium sulfate, which is my B, in my equation. Every place there's A in my skeleton equation, I've written sodium hydroxide, and every place you see B, I've written sodium sulfate, as to help people who are having difficulty knowing where the numbers go make the substitutions. If you look, this problem is gram to gram, so you're going to need the molar mass of sodium hydroxide and also the molar mass of sodium sulfate. Here at the bottom of the paper, I've already calculated the molar mass of sodium hydroxide, and now I'm going to calculate the molar mass of sodium sulfate. As you can see, I have sodium. I have 2 atoms of it, so that's 2 times 23. All of these weights come from the periodic table. I have sulfur. There's 1 atom of that, so that's 1 times sulfur happens to weigh 32.07. Oxygen, I have 4 oxygen atoms, and they each weigh 16 grams. So that's 64, 32.07, and 23 times 2. It would help if I cut the calculator on, huh, Evan? 23.00 times 2 equals 46. Now, if I add all of those numbers up, I get a molar mass of 142.07 grams. So the ratio we're going to use right here in this equation is 1 mole of sodium sulfate has a mass of 142.07 grams. All right, so now we have all the information we need to do a gram to gram calculation. So let's go up top and plug numbers in. The mass that we started out that we were given is 200 grams. That's 200 grams of sodium hydroxide, so we're going to put that at the beginning. All right. 1 mole of sodium hydroxide, that's always going to be 1 mole, unless we start with moles, over the molar mass, which is 40.01. Next is our mole ratio from our balanced chemical equation. We have 2 moles of sodium hydroxide for every, there's no number here, so that's 1 mole of sodium sulfate. So the sodium hydroxide goes on the bottom, that's 2 NaOH, 2 moles of that. And there's 1 mole of sodium sulfate. And next we need to convert the moles to mass by using the molar mass of sodium sulfate. So that's 1 mole of sodium sulfate. And the mass is 142.07 grams. All right. And when you put this in your calculator, you're going to take 200 divided by 40.01. times 1 divided by 2 times 142.05. And the answer that I get is 200 divided by 40.01 divided by 2 times 142.07 equals 355.09. I actually get 0.086. 0.09 grams of sodium sulfate. Now, if the problem had asked you how many moles of sodium sulfate are made, you would have stopped the problem right here. Okay? And then just took 200 divided by 40.01 times 1 divided by 2. All right? But we asked for grams, so we did the whole gram to gram calculation. I hope this is helpful. I'm going to make a couple of more videos and post them for you. But that's how you do problem number 2 in part 3 of your study guide.